Hey, this is Tournament Takeaway with Fish on a Heater, the world's best mediocre mid-level battler. This is a series where we take a look at a battle, single battle, and just take a look at all the different parts that make up the whole, see what we can take out of it and learn to bring into future battles, hopefully become better battlers. This particular battle that we're going to look at is one where I think a lot of things came together at once. It was shield management, energy management, switch advantage, all those things. It all kind of came together to make a really solid game plan. I'm not going to be able to make any more sense than that, so I'm just going to have to show you the video to show you what I mean. This is a battle against Hydrogen Bond, who is someone in my Pokemon Go Radio Patreon Discord server. Don't let that ranking for you. Hydrogen Bond is quite good. I actually made a video with one of his battles a few weeks ago where it was his first ever tournament, and not only did he beat me, he actually won the tournament. He clean swept the tournament. And at the time, being a bit salty, I was like, I'm not sure if this is all on the up and up here. I think, maybe there might be a second account thing going on or something like that, but with the benefit of time, I've just come to accept that it's probably one of those rare things where someone comes in from GBL and that's all they've done before, and they actually get the Silpharina straight away, and they understand it and they smash it. So since that tournament, he has also gone 5-1 in a Premier Cup Silph tournament, and in this particular tournament, the Catacomb Cup, went 3-2. So very, very good start to his Silph Arena career. Let's take a look at our battle. He looks very smart too with the glasses and the hair. Alright, so it starts out with the Sudowoodo versus the Vespiquen. Now, I've said it in a few videos before that Vespiquen can beat Sudowoodo with 2 shields to hide behind. That Fury Cutter and the X's really add up, whereas, having to keep on building up to those rock slides, it just can't do it fast enough. Unfortunately, this is where the inexperience kind of kicks in. Hydrogen Bond, I don't think, knew that, so he switched out straight away and brought it into the Graveler, and I was like, I'm absolutely fine with that. I've got Frostlass and Jumpluff in the back. Both of them can handle Vespiquen very easily, and both of them aren't as good counters to Graveler as Sudowoodo is, so I was absolutely fine to keep Sudowoodo in as the matchup against Graveler. Now, I'll back up a little, and we want to start counting these Volt Switches. One thing before the Graveler comes in that we need to remember is the Pokemon will start attacking the moment you hit their little icon on the switch tray, right? So you don't actually see the first Volt Switch happen, but it does happen, right? So that's already 1. That's 1 Volt Switch that the Graveler's done. 2, 3, 4. And we throw our Rock Slide. Now these Volt Switches are giving 16 energy per attack, right? 5, and throws a charge move. Now, so 16 energy per Volt Switch, 5 Volt Switches, that comes to 80 energy. This guy's got a lot of energy prepared. Got enough easily enough for a couple of Rock Blasts, but also, not easily enough, it's got enough for a couple of Rock Blasts, and it also easily has enough for a Stone Edge. We can take a Rock Blast, we can't necessarily take a Stone Edge. So, we opt to shield, and he just goes for the Rock Blast. Throws 1 more Volt Switch, we get a couple more counters in. We opt not to shield, we don't want to, spend our second shield this early in the battle, and out comes the Stone Edge taking us out. So, very good start for Hydrogen Bond. I had the better Pokemon in that matchup, but he managed to flip that by good use of shield baiting, so good on him. Now, I have the Frostlass or the Jumpluff left in. Obviously, those Rock Blast and Stone Edges are going to really hurt Frostlass. They'll hurt Jumpluff too, not as much. Jumpluff is the better Pokemon to bring in against the Graveler, but I wanted to put my energy to a little bit more better use. I wanted to get more efficiency out of my energy. So, because what happens is, like, it's going to take a reasonably long time to get to an energy ball on Jumpluff. Like, of course, it'll completely knock out the Graveler in that time, but when it's got, you know, that much health left, and the bullet seeds that I'm going to fire in the meantime are going to take it even lower. So I'm firing a whole energy ball to take off this much HP. I thought it was better to... I'll show you. Bring out the Frostlass and try and farm down as much as possible. I considered this a possibility as I was doing it. Like, maybe the Powder Snows won't be able to take it down fast enough to avoid a charge move. So I watched the Graveler throw 3 Volt Switches and then timed the switch so that the Jumpluff caught the charge move. So let's watch that again. So I've thrown out the Frostlass, 2 Volt Switches, 3, and then switch it out. Now I've got almost enough energy for an Avalanche, which I can throw against whatever is in the back, because if we look at that team below us, Frostlass with an energy lead is going to be a huge deal against a lot of that team. The Scolipede is going to really get hurt by an Avalanche. Vespiquen is, I believe, one-shot by an Avalanche. Even Sudowoodo is very hard hit by Avalanche. Umbreon obviously still, like, it's going to take a lot to overtake a matchup with an Umbreon. But even then, like, an Avalanche is going to hurt an Umbreon. It's going to take out a decent chunk of energy. So having one almost charged up already is a fairly big advantage for me. And now we discover that the Pokemon that he's got in the back is the Umbreon. So now we've got to start planning, because gonna pause this. We don't want the Umbreon to... I mean, well, okay. So we are probably not going to be able to avoid the Umbreon coming in against our Frostlass. Yeah, because it's like, it's at full health. It's just used a shield. Our Jumpluff is on about half health. And... I mean, we can use a shield as well, but then that just leaves Frostlass completely defenseless. So we've now got to start planning to try and flip matchups that would otherwise be, you know, sure things. So how are we going to flip it? Frostlass needs the shield is the first thing we need to work out. Here's how we got around it, basically. Avalanche does maybe a quarter to a third damage to an Umbreon. So at this point here, I worked out that I need 2 Avalanches to break an Umbreon, right? No, even more than that. I needed to get the Umbreon down to about half health, then 2 Avalanches would do it, right? So this Umbreon's starting to throw charge moves at me. I opt not to shield. So now one more Dark Pulse is going to take me out, right? I do get the Energy Ball. That's huge, right? So now I've gotten his last shield, and I've gotten out the energy wall. And that takes it down to 2/3 health. About that. I, again, don't shield. I need that shield for the Frostlass, right? And then I switch out to the Frostlass. So, I should have switched a little bit quicker as well, but basically the idea was that I didn't want that Umbreon to get any more energy than that. With the amount of health that Jumpluff was left with, that's a weird shot. There we go. So, it would have been better if this Dark Pulse had taken me out. That might have even been deliberate on Hydrogen Bond's part. Oh, Foul Play even, sorry. Yeah. So, at that range, I can be taken out by Snarls. All that does is give the Umbreon extra energy. So, I just got out of there and threw out the Frostlass. Now, the Umbreon was still building up energy before I got to my first Avalanche, and it took out over half of the remaining health from Umbreon, right? And here we have to be clever again. Vespiquen, most often running, in this cup at least, Fury Cutter, X-Scissor, and Power Gem. Ghost resists Bug, weirdly, don't know why. So, we're fine to get hit by an X-Scissor here. We know that the Avalanche is going to absolutely crush this Vespiquen, right? So, we don't mind if the Vespiquen throws an X-Scissor before going down, because, like, no matter how much health we're on, as soon as we get hit by a Dark Pulse or a Foul Play from Umbreon, it's over anyway. Whether we've got like a quarter of our health left or 3/4 of our health left, right? So to speak. Anyway, so we're not worried about that X-Scissor. What we are worried about is the Power Gem from the Vespiquen. That Power Gem being a rock move, going to be super effective. It's going to take out probably the rest of our health from here. I believe that'll faint an Umbreon from this range. So we have to throw the Avalanche before they get to a Power Gem. Easy enough. But, just to make things hard on myself, I wanted to get in as much energy as possible before that Power Gem comes out. So, Fury Cutter generates 4 energy every time you throw one, right? X-Scissor is a 35 energy move. Power Gem is a 60 energy move. So, that means it takes, here we go, 15 Fury Cutters to get to a Power Gem. And a Fury Cutter takes 1 turn, so that is 15 turns to get to that Power Gem. And I want to get in as much energy as possible until that point. So, we switch out. Throw the Avalanche. Da 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 da. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Now, admittedly, I didn't actually know this at the time. I'd forgotten how much energy Fury Cutter gave you, and I forgot how much energy Power Gem cost. I just went by instinct. I've done so many of these battles now that I was able to guess, like, spot on the moment when that Power Gem was going to come, and you can see that I've taken that opportunity to build up a little more energy than what I otherwise needed. That meant that I could get to that Avalanche quicker against the Umbreon, because the Umbreon is obviously going to come out here and going to be at an attack very quickly, and that's where I use my shield. And even though we get a little bit of lag there, we still managed to get to that next Avalanche just in time to avoid being hit by the Foul Play. And then, of course, Gravel is in the back there with that minute bit of health left, but just one powder snow is enough to take that one out. So that was a situation where we had to really think through the battle. We had to work out, okay, we had to plan ahead, like, so if I save a shield for Frostlass, then I can get maybe 2 avalanches out onto the Umbreon, so I'll need to make sure that the Umbreon's down at half health-ish before that matchup happens. And then when the Vespiquen came out, I was like, okay, if I get up enough energy, then I can make sure that I can get to that second avalanche before the Umbreon is able to attack again. So it all came together very, very nicely. I hope that watching this is helpful for you, just learning how to, I guess, plan out, visualize how the battle's going to go, and work out exactly what you need to do to make sure that you achieve that win. What, you know, how many shields you need against which Pokemon, and how much energy you need, and how much energy they're using and storing, and all of that, you know. Thanks for watching. If you like the video, I've got more. Subscribe down below the video, hit that button, and you'll get notified whenever a new video comes out. I'd like to say they're not quite as rambly as this one, but it's probably wishful thinking. I also stream on Twitch currently Tuesday and Sunday night, so if you check me out, there's a link in the description of the video. It's just fun, you know, viewer battles and GBL. Come hang out with me there, and I hope you can build that ranking, and I'll see you next week.